Well, hello. It's 7 o'clock, so I'm going to get started on this Facebook Live. Tonight I'm going to show you how to make the scalloped edge cards. I saw this card a few days ago and I loved it, and so I want to share it with you. It's real easy, and it's just it's a little time consuming, so I will get started on this and go through this as quickly as possible. So the stamp sets we're going to be using tonight are Happiness Abounds, Fresh Cut Flowers, Sit, Stay, Relax. Sit, Stay, Relax is a hostess stamp set, and you can only get it if you are a hostess and or you are already a demonstrator. Then you can order it that way as well. So I'll be using the leaf out of the sweet cherries. That's the only thing I'll be using out of that. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to mention is that I have a sampler that I made, and it is the He's All That sampler. And you can purchase the pieces and everything, the kit I should say, for $28, and if I need to ship it to you, then it'll cost $8 for shipping. I won't include the frame. That you can pick up at Walmart. That's where I get mine. They have black ones and white ones, and I have the links for all of that and everything. So if this is something that you would be interested in, just let me know and I'll send you the link. And we'll get started on cutting everything up and providing that for you, because I do cut, emboss, and punch everything possible. I can't stamp anything, so the stamping has to be done by you. So and He's All That Sweet is the bundle that I'll be using, that I used to create that. Okay, so let's get started on this. This is our first card. So here's the scalloped edge I was telling you about. I just think that makes this so feminine looking. So we'll set that up here. And I want you to like, share, comment, anything on my live video. And I will put your name in a drawing to win the 3 cards that we're making tonight. Let me show you the other 2. These are the other 2 that we're going to make tonight. So, yes, back to what I was saying, if you like, comment, share on my Facebook video, you will get your name entered in 3 times, once for each one of those. And then the same thing on YouTube. I will have this up on YouTube probably tomorrow or Saturday morning. And once that's up and posted, then if you subscribe, like, share, comment, then your name will be put in a drawing for these 3 cards again. So that's that helps my business, helps get my name out there, and helps get more people subscribed to my channel. So it's a lot of help, and I appreciate it very much. Okay, so to make these cards, what I did was, this is the 4 1/4 this way, and then I added like another 3/4 of an inch for this side, and I scored it at 4 1/4 like our regular cards. Then I used this die to cut the edge right here, and we're going to do that in a little bit. But one of the things that I wanted to point out to you is this is the embossing. This is from the embossing folder that I used to emboss this card. And I learned the other day that if you dampen your cardstock before you run it through the embossing, the stamp cut and emboss machine with the embossing folder, look at the difference. That's amazing. It's when you dampen your cardstock on both sides, it allows for those fibers to break down and to kind of it conforms to the embossing folder, and so that's the difference. Look at that. That's amazing. I love it. Okay, so back to this. So the first thing that we're going to do is stamp our rose on here. And we want to make sure that we don't put it too close to this side, because we don't want it hidden under the scallop that'll be there. So let's go ahead and do this with the black tuxedo, the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. So we'll just cover that real well. Stamp this. So we're going to do some background stamping, and in order to do that, we're going to use the new it's called the masking paper. So we're going to use some of that too. And since this is a photopolymer stamp, I can clean it with water on my simple chamois. So the simple chamois, it comes in one larger piece. I cut it in half because I use part of it, and the other part I just let it stay in here. So once it starts to dry out a little bit, you just add some water to it and it's good to go. You will want to rinse it out, squeeze it, rinse it out to clean it. But right now it's clean even though it doesn't look clean. Okay, so now we're going to take a piece of this masking paper. Now on one of the cards, I have already cut around the flowers. I'll make sure I got this on the right side. Yeah, because one side peels up. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to stamp this again. This time we'll stamp it on here. So what I'm going to do is make a mask for this flower, and I'll put it over the one that I've stamped on the cardstock, and then we can stamp around it safely without worrying about getting in any of the background stamping on it. So and I try to keep my videos to an hour. I don't know if I'll be able to do that this evening, but I will move along here as fast as I can. Okay, so what we'll do on the back of this, it is separated into two pieces, so you can peel it off this way, but if you've got a smaller stamp like this one, if you just take a pick tool, you can separate it. It's not really that hard to do, but only when you're on camera. There might be an easier way to do this. I don't know what it is. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of fold this down. The reason why I'm not going to take this off of the entire back of it is because I may need to move it, and I want to make sure that there's enough adhesive on the back. And I'm going to clean my fingers really quick just to make sure I don't get any on the cardstock. Okay, so this, it's going to go like this. Okay, so when you are applying a background stamp, you want your mask to be set back just a little bit, because otherwise the stamped image on the back is not going to go cover up, it'll be too far away from the line that I stamped, the flower that I stamped the first time. So we're going to use that flower stamp, and it's a Granny Apple Green. And then I'm just going to randomly stamp this around. Like this. And I don't like it real cluttered. This one here I could stamp better. And I don't know if it'll line up. No, not exactly. But you get the idea. Now I'm going to pull this away from the edge a little bit. So while I'm doing this, I will say that when I send out these cards to the winner, you will get the best of what I have. So if I messed up like this, I'll either redo it or I will give you the original one that I made. So I'm not going to give you something that you can't use. Okay. So then I kind of look at it and see if I need to put more background somewhere. I think right here would be good. And over here, I think that's a little too close together for me. But yeah, I think I'm going to quit right there. I'll clean this. And okay, so now we're going to color this flower in. And I'm going to use Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to fill in the center with the dark Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blend. Okay, so next we will put it in here. So 4 1/4, I'm going to go ahead and score this. I think that if I put that in there, that's wider than what I thought. Let's see if it fits this. Yep. Okay, let's go ahead and put the scalloped edge on there. So I'm bringing in my Stamp Cut and Emboss machine, the large one. And we're using the basic border dies. We'll use plate 1, plate 5, let me look at something again. I think I might have to cut a little off the edge of this because I have it scored right there, and that'll be fine. since I haven't made these before, I wasn't exactly sure. So I'm just gonna hold this down. The magnet does a pretty good job of holding these down, but when I'm putting it on an embossed folder, it doesn't seem to be as strong. So I'll grab my top plate. And I will have this video on Facebook this evening, and then I'll have it on YouTube, like I said, probably tomorrow or Saturday. Okay, so I wasn't quite sure about this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut part of this off so that it fits on my card base. And I'm going to cut off, I'll start out with 1/8 of an inch. And now let's see. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So I'm going to now adhere this to the front of this card. The reason why I do that is because this side, the Stampin' Blends bleeds through, so I don't want that on the inside of my card if I'm giving it to somebody. I just like it to look neat. So place that right on here. And next I will put this inside this folder. And I'll put it all the way up against the end, the edge on the inside. And then we'll glue down this flap here. Okay. And we will put a, we'll put congratulations on here. I think that's what I had on the other one. I don't see my card. Oh, here it is. So, congratulations. Here we are. It's down here. So when you're working with photopolymer stamps, you just want to, if you're laying it out like this, you just want to give it a second to relax, because these, I mean, you can bend them. So if you want to curve your words or curve a stem or what have you, you can do that easily. And we'll use our tuxedo black ink. And trying to get this in the center, so if I have my head in the way, I apologize. Just want to get it straight. And also with the photopolymer stamps, you want to just hold it in place for just a couple of seconds for that ink to transfer. Okay, so this was 5/8 by 3. And this will also be in the instructions. I will put the instructions on my blog at www.theresatucker.net. And there will be a recipe there that you can print out. And I'm going to use these Stampin' Dimensionals. Usually I use foam sheets because I like that they're sturdier than the dimensionals. Okay, so there's that card. I hope you like it. Lori, oh no, your screen is frozen. Can you hear me okay? Whoops. All right, so we'll put this away. Something to mention is if your stamps aren't sticking either to your block or inside your case, if you just clean them on the back, usually they've got some dirt on it, or it's like if you do any embossing, sometimes the powder will get on there and then it won't stick. But that's how you do that. Just clean it off and it's good to go. All right, so that's that card. Now this one, let's see. I'll probably have to cut down the inside of this one too because I think I measured them all the same. So this is the card. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put jewels on that. Hang on just one second. Let me grab. Just use your take a pick tool to pick that up. Oh, that's a good spot for that. Sometimes if you pick it up with this end, it's easier. There we go. Oh, comedy of errors tonight. Well, there we go. So the take your pick tool is good for picking up embellishments, and it also on this end it helps pick up embellishments, and it's also good to poke out your bits of the embossing that doesn't fall out of the die. You can use this. There's another attachment that goes on this, and it is the brush to do that, to take those pieces out. And then this end is good for picking up, getting underneath stuff like, well, probably the transfer, the, why am I having a hard time remembering the name of that? Masking paper. Okay. And I didn't put the ribbon on it. You guys have to keep on me now. We can't be doing it like this. Oh, good, Kathy. I'm so glad you can hear me. Hey, Kathy, within the next couple of days, I'm going to draw the names for the... Remember when I did the Mother's Day flowers? I'm going to draw the names for that, and you are in that one for sure. So I just doubled the twine and tied it. I kind of like that. And with your mini glue dots, if you have trouble with this unraveling, you know, just it gets in the way, just put a piece of ribbon around it, and then you can tighten this ribbon up and loosen it as needed. And it's easier to just expose one glue dot rather than, let's put it over here, rather than all of it coming off at the same time. Okay, so now we're done with that card. Remind me that I'm sticking it up there. Okay, let's put this away. All right, so same thing here. Here's our opal rounds. So see these clear, they're coming clear and silver, and those are retired, so I didn't want to use those tonight. Set that up here. And we're going to go ahead and score this. So I'm trying to think, if my card is 4 1/4 wide, yeah, that would be, yeah. I was thinking that maybe I scored it at the wrong place, but I don't think I did. So let's score this. And I'm going to grab my stamp cut and emboss machine again. Get this all out of the way. We'll line this up so that it ends like right where that score line is. Sometimes you can count on just pushing this all the way almost up to the edge, but not always. So you just want to pay attention to that when you get ready to cut it off. All right. So Kathy, do you have trouble with your die sticking to the magnetic plate? This is the only one that I've had that trouble with. Okay, so now we'll fold this on the score line. This is where a bone folder comes in handy. Sometimes I forget to use it, but they do work well. All right, so this card, let's see. Well, that's about perfect. Maybe I just cut the first one wrong. Okay, we'll set that aside for a second. Now for this one, I went ahead and fussy cut around my flowers on the masking paper because I was afraid it was going to take too long, and I didn't want you to have to sit there and watch me do all of that. So now we're going to stamp it on here, and I don't really want this bottom part on. I don't want these leaves on here. So since I already cut them off there, I'm going to go back and be a little old school now. I'm going to go ahead and use some good old-fashioned Post-it notes to cover that up. When I did this earlier, I had to use pieces to get all of it covered up that I didn't want. Uh-oh. I just want to get this part of the leaf covered up. Now I think if I apply the ink to the stamp this way, I should be good. Okay. There is just a little bit right here. I'm going to get that. Okay. I think I'll stamp it here. All right. Cheers. Okay, so now we can cover this up. And I'm only going to peel off part of it. Oops. Kathy, have you used the masking paper? Okay, for this one, I used these little flowers. And again, I didn't stamp the whole thing. I just wanted the top part of it. Sometimes with the red rubber stamps, you just want to make sure that you don't rock it at all. Because you get this halo. It's like every time I put this stamp in the ink, it's done this every time. It just gets all that ink on there. And if I'm not careful, then I'll rock that and then it'll have a halo. So when you're stamping, you just need to make sure that you go straight down and straight up. Let's see. Okay. I might add some more, but let's see here. I don't think I need it around the flowers, but I'm going to put one up here. And I'll put one over here. Okay, I think I'm good. So that's how you use the masking paper. Pretty cool. All right, so for this flower, I am going to color it in with the Light Poppy Parade. So once you get past the edges, then it goes a little faster, because I'm not doing real blending here. I'm not going to use the darker ink to fill it in or to give it dimension. I'm just coloring it in. Just go around. So I did a masculine sampler. I showed it at the beginning, so if you weren't here when I first started, you probably missed it. I used He's All That collection. It turned out really cute. I'm selling the kits. I cut, punch, emboss everything possible, and I can mail it to you. It's $28 and then $8 for shipping if I need to mail it to you, or you can pick it up at my house and save that $8 shipping. But I include everything. The only thing I can't do is stamp. I can't send stamped images in the mail because that's against Stampin' Up's policy. But this sampler, most of it is just die cut pieces, so there's really not much stamping. If you've got the stamp set, there is one piece that needs to be stamped. And then I also used Grassy Grove. I used the deer and some of the trees. I stamped those, and then I cut a couple of them apart. So if you're interested in receiving that, or if you're interested in me sending it to you, just try to remember what I used here. I think I used, let me see. Okay, we're going to use the dark granny apple. Which this one? Light granny apple. We'll do this one. Okay, so I'm just going to color in these leaves. So tomorrow night we have our team meeting with my upline, Kim Peck, and she needed someone to demonstrate tomorrow, and so I volunteered to do that, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I need to figure out what I'm going to demonstrate tomorrow. Probably won't be anything too time consuming because I just get nervous. I'm not a crafty person. I enjoy this, but I'm not very good at coming up with my own designs. So I case a lot of things. CASE stands for copy and share everything. So I don't care if somebody copies any of my designs. I don't know why they would, but if they do, I'm fine with that. I mean, especially if you're new, I mean, you've got to learn. And sometimes, I remember when I first came into Stampin' Up, it was around, I don't know, it was in the 80s. And I was completely lost. I had no idea how to create a card, or, you know, how to put it together, how many elements it needed, anything like that. What colors do I use? So there are so many ideas. If you go to Pinterest, you just put in the name of the stamp set that you want to use, and it'll bring up a whole lot of ideas. Okay. So, let's go ahead and attach it to this. I still think that, I mean, really, I needed to put some more in here, I think. I might go back and add it. So I just kind of stand it up so that I know that it's all the way against the edges. We're going to put it inside. I just love the scalloped edge. It's so pretty. I love that. So if you do the, if you add water to your cardstock, you just want to make sure that you kind of spread it around evenly. And I can demonstrate that, actually. I should probably. And then you want to set like one of your blocks on it, let it dry. You don't want it to warp, so you just want to make sure that it lies flat. And so for the most part, mine is flat. It's not completely flat, but it'll be flat when I glue it, because it's hardly warped at all. But what a difference it makes. Okay, so now we're going to put congratulations on here. Did I, oh, okay, hang on a second. I actually had happy birthday on the other one, so let's put happy birthday on this one. I'm like the absent-minded professor. Happy birthday. Let's see if it fits on here. I think it does. Okay, good. My blocks have adhesive on them. Okay, try to get this on here straight and centered. Sorry for my head if it gets in the way. It's hard to stamp on camera because you've got to be right over these stamps. Here we go. Pretty good. Yay, we did it. So now I like to use the multi-purpose glue, because when I first started stamping, it was hard for me to get things lined up properly, and the multi-purpose glue kind of gives you a little wiggle room, so if you need to make an adjustment, you can move it just a little bit. It does dry still rather quickly, but it's not as permanent right away as what the Stampin' Seal is. So that's why I like to use it, and I've just gotten used to it, so now I just use it all the time. Okay, so I want my dimensionals. I left them out. We'll put this down, and then we'll put on the ribbon and the embellishments, and then we'll just have one more to go. Okay, so we're going to take our twine. I think it's called twine. It's the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. Yep, and it comes with the black, the white, the very vanilla, the this is gray granite, I believe, and then the crumb cake. So I like to double up my bows when I use the twine because they're so thin. But I got fat fingers too. Oops. All right, and then you gotta pull it. Hope you pull it evenly, not like that. Okay. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. All right, third time's a charm. Good vibes this way, people. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks for the good vibes. It worked. All right. Put a glue dot on there, kind of squish it together. Otherwise, the glue dot sticks out on the other side of the twine and can stick to other things. All right, now we cut the tail. And this one here too. Okay. All right, so for this one, I thought I would put on one of these brushed brass butterflies. Where should we put it? Let's put it there, but you can barely see it. Let's put another one up here. Maybe I should have used a larger one. Let's put on some of the opal rounds. Come here, Bella. I'm going to try to take him off of here and put on a larger one. So if the glue sticks, that's okay, because I can apply that I can apply the butterfly to another card with some glue, so it's going to be okay. Okay, so there's that one. We have one more. Oops. All right, so this one is the Hostess stamp that I was telling you about. And you can get this if you host a party, or I can come to your house and you can host a live party that way, or we can do it online with Zoom or something like that. So there's options. Now I want to see. Okay, so I think this one, I cut it properly. Go 4 1/4 score. Score. We'll get out the stamp cut and emboss machine again. Set all that aside. I've been working on so many projects lately. Oh my gosh, I got a mess over here. I'm glad you can't see it. Okay, so this is going to fit in here like that. And we're going to stamp this chair. Let's hold it for a moment. There we go. And you can clean your red rubber stamps with the water as well. Or they do have this stamp and scrub that you can clean your stamps with. Used to be when I first started with Stampin' Up, they told you to use the stamp and scrub because the spray that you put on it is supposed to condition the rubber, but I've never had trouble with it, so I don't know. Since I did this before, I was able to save my mask, so this will only take a few minutes. And I chose to use this leaf. It's from the Sweetest Cherries stamp set because it resembled these leaves that are on the front of the chair. It's like, oh, where'd that green come from? Let's get rid of it. Covered it up. It's like, when do you stop? Let's put one this way. Uh-oh. That's better. Okay. Once I finish this card, then I will show you the sampler again, if you didn't see it already. Okay, now I want to use, I think this daffodil, what's this one? White daffodil. I think I'm going to pull out saffron. I just want to test it first. Ooh, though. I wonder what it would look like if I go over these leaves on the front. I know, I'll try this. I don't know. Sorry, while I experiment a little bit here. Okay, I'm gonna give this a try. See what it's like. I think that looks okay. I think that looks okay. What do you think? I think I like it. So on the sample that I created, I went around all of these leaves, but I think this works. This is another Stampin' Blends marker. I think I need to replace it. The little nib or whatever you call the end, it got soft. And I think it's because of the way that I color. You're supposed to color more like on the side and not like straight up and down. Oh, I'm going to color the shallow, so what am I worried about? I'll go with the smaller end to go around the little putty cat. Okay. So be sure to comment, like, share, so that your name can be put in the drawing to win the cards. I'm going to draw one name. Someone will win all 3 cards. It'll be the 3 best cards. I'm only going to give away nice cards. I'm not going to, if I made a mistake, then I'm not going to put that in the drawing. Okay. Hey, that turned out okay, didn't it? All right. So now all we need to do is stamp Wish You Were Here. And did I already pull that out? And I did that with the black ink. The red rubber is a little easier or a little harder to get centered where you want it because you can't see through it. So I try to line it up towards the bottom like this. and hopefully it's good. Okay, not bad. I notice I got a little bit of black ink on there, but I'll put an embellishment there so you can't see it. And this is the gray granite, so I'll put this on the gray granite. I don't do these all in the same order, do I? I just realized. Okay, we'll set that aside for a second. And for this one, we'll go ahead and put it down. So I'll tell you a secret about this first card that I did using this stamp set. When I was putting the green leaves on it, I accidentally got a green line across there. It must have been on the edge of the stamp. So I wrapped the ribbon across there so that you couldn't see it. That's how I covered it up. Okay, so there's that. What am I missing? I'm going to put this on. This is, I'll have these, everything that I used, I'll have them in the description after I get ready to post this. And I'm probably going to do some editing on it. So even though this is live today, it probably will be, I'll probably upload one that's been edited tomorrow. But I'll leave this up until then, at least. Okay. Should I put it up there? Yeah, up here's good. Let's cut off those tails. And that one's maybe a little. Okay, so now we're going to add, what is it, this? What did I pull out to put on there? I'm not using those because they have retired. I think I'll use these. I'm going to cover that boo-boo up. I'm going to add a couple more. Okay, and that's our card. So This was the original. This is the new one. This one was the original. And this one was the original. And this one is the new one. So that's all of them right there. I hope you liked them, and I thank you very much for being here. And I will be back again probably next week. I don't know what day yet. I have to look at my calendar and see what I have scheduled on. So anyway, thank you again for watching. Oh, hold on. Here is the sampler I was talking about earlier. So most of this stuff it comes already together. I mean, not together, but the deer and the tree and the grass right there had to be stamped. And then this also had to be stamped. And otherwise, all the pieces punched, everything ready to go. All of the squares are cut. Everything is done. $28. If you're interested, please let me know, and I will send you the link to purchase it. So that's it for tonight, and thank you again.